What's up, ladies and gentlemen of YouTube? Bookie298 coming at you live as we get through the power of the internet. And yes, the hype train is real. It looks like Borderlands 3 is coming out on September 16th, 2018. And it looks like it's coming on PC exclusively to the Epic Store. Now look, we're not going to know this absolutely for sure until tomorrow, but I wanted to make this video today because it looks like it's all but confirmed by Randy Pitchford. I hope I'm not falling for an April Fool's joke here, and if I am, I will delete this video, I will retract it and redact it on all my social media, and I'll make a video apologizing. But let me show you the evidence against this. Now, I know some of you guys are going to say, who cares? What's the big deal? Because when I asked you guys on Twitter about this, some of you said if it's not on Steam, you're not going to buy it. Some of you said if it was on Steam and not the Epic Store, you wouldn't buy it. And a lot of you have just said, I don't really care where the game ends up. I just care if the game is good. And of course, a lot of you guys are going to play it on console anyway. So I will talk a little bit later as to why I would prefer that it showed up on both Epic and Steam. But right now, I want to focus on the fact that it looks like it's only coming to Epic. So someone in charge of marketing for Borderlands made a huge mistake, and on April 1st, they tweeted out a video that probably wasn't supposed to go live until the big information revealed tomorrow. And if you take a look at this screenshot of that tweet, of that video, which has now been deleted, it does say in the bottom left-hand corner, 2K Games, Gearbox Games, and then Epic Store logo. Obviously, no Steam logo here, so it looks like it's at least definitely coming to the Epic Store according to that video. Now, the reason I want you to take this video and all of this information with a grain of salt is because not only was that tweeted on April 1st, but this could very well be the kind of marketing you could expect from Borderlands, where they would make it look like it was coming to the Epic Store and then change their mind and move it over to the Steam Store. That's the kind of thing you could expect from Gearbox. That's the kind of thing you'd expect with Borderlands. So it's entirely possible this is all just a giant ruse. But there's still some damning evidence. Randy Pitchford started discussing this yesterday as people put pressure on him. And if you guys don't know Randy Pitchford, that is the boss of Gearbox. He's the face of Gearbox. And he basically said that 2K was in charge of where this game was getting published because obviously they were the publisher. He went on to say that, to me, exclusives are fine when they come with advantages and when they are short, say 6 months. And this sounds like Randy already knows that tomorrow they're going to announce that it is a timed exclusive on the Epic Store for about 6 months. And Randy definitely is making sure that you understand that it is not him or anybody at Gearbox or any of the developers that made the decision. It's the publisher that made the decision. And that seems to be the case as well as Metro Exodus. The developers are saying, look, it's not us. We're not the ones who did it. You got to get mad at the publishers. Don't get mad at us. And please don't take it out on our game. When you look at Randy's tweets on this topic, you can definitely see that he is not wanting to take responsibility for this decision. He says, as a customer, I'm happy to shop in different stores. I already do. I bought games from Xbox, PlayStation, Switch, Steam, Origin, GOG, Humble, Uplay, Epic, and other stores. To me, exclusives are fine when they come with advantages and when they are short, say 6 months. For what it's worth, 2K's decision aside, myself and the team at Gearbox have a very keen interest in cross-platform play. We believe multi-platform support is a prerequisite, and Epic's leadership with cross-platform support is helpful to our interest there. I love cross-platform play too. It would be great if people who bought this game on the Epic Store, for example, were able to play it with people who bought it on the Steam Store, because you also decided to also offer it on the Steam Store. Again, I don't have a problem with you selling on the Epic Store. If it's $10 cheaper on the Epic Store, I might actually purchase it there instead of Steam. I just want the option. And for those of you, again, who have no problem with the Epic Store, I understand. But when it comes to the stuff that Steam offers that the Epic Game Store doesn't, like cloud saves and user profiles and user reviews and forums and mod distribution and groups and item trading and library sorting and account sharing and streaming to other devices and broadcasting and screenshot capture sharing and user-created guides and wish lists and a whole host of things that are not even on this sheet, I think you can understand why I might prefer Steam. And then there's the rumor going around that the Epic Game Store is actually spyware and is spying on you. And you can check Reddit for that if you want. I don't know if that's true. I don't know enough about computing to say whether or not that's real. I just know that's a rumor that's going around, and some people will choose not to install it for that reason, even if it means they're going to have to miss out on Borderlands. I already own Borderlands 1, Borderlands 2, Tales from the Borderlands, and the pre-sequel all on Steam already. So you could see, for that reason alone, that's one of the reasons I would like to have it in my Steam library. But if you take a look at Twitter, the sentiment on Twitter and Reddit and pretty much everywhere else seems to say that, yeah, people are pretty upset about this. So if you are not, and I understand why you're not, please understand that a lot of us are.
No! God, please, no! No! No!
So if this game is exclusively coming to the Epic Store for about 6 months, and Randy Pitchford has all but confirmed that it is, I think this is probably the biggest get that they could hope to get, other than something like, Halo Master Chief Collection or something like that. I mean, this is a big game to people who really, really care about the series, really care about the franchise, and I think people are really going to have to put their money where their mouth is on this one. If you're talking about a boycott, this is going to be a tough boycott for a lot of people. I mean, I guess you could always choose to buy it on console, but here's the thing. A lot of people prefer to play it on PC because they like to mod their games, and this is one of those games that they love to mod. They prefer mouse and keyboard, and even though the consoles are starting to support that to some extent, it's still not very common. I see a lot of people saying they'll just do what Jack Sparrow would do here, if you know what I mean, but we still don't know how much of this game is going to be server-side and how much of it's going to be an online component, and whether or not you're going to have to always connect online. We still really don't know how they've built this game, so it might be really difficult to do that.
That's got to be the best part I've ever seen.
I guess there's the easiest option, which is just to wait for 6 months until this game comes out on Steam, purchase it at a cheaper price, maybe even wait for the Game of the Year edition that includes all the DLC and play it a couple of years later. I mean, that's always an option for people, and a lot of people are going to take that option, and it's one I recommend. But I do think there's going to be a good number of players who would have otherwise played this game and are not going to, especially in the first 6 months. And I think that really sucks because Borderlands 3 is a game I've been looking forward to for a really, really long time. And if 2K did make this decision and they are putting it on the Epic Store as a timed exclusive, then it's going to hurt the game more than not. As much as I don't like this decision, it's difficult for me to be mad because I don't really know who to be mad at. I don't want to be mad at Randy Pitchford because I believe him when he says he had nothing to do with this decision, even though he's likely to benefit from it. I want to be mad at 2K, but I've been told by an anonymous source the deals that Epic are making they're giving you more money than you were guaranteed to make anyway. So you absolutely, it's a good business decision to take what they are offering. Even if you lose sales, it doesn't matter because you're going to make up for it in just raw cash. The blame, once again, always seems to land on Epic's lap. Epic is the people that is choosing to fight this fight in the way that they are fighting it. They are the people who are choosing to be anti-consumer here, and that is very, very frustrating for me. I know they need to build the platform, and I'm glad somebody is taking on Steam, but not like this.
Not like this. Not like this.
And if you take a look at the Epic subreddit, you'll definitely see I'm not the only person that feels this way. And yes, Reddit is a very vocal minority, and you need to be careful about what you read there, but at the end of the day, it is a good way to gauge sentiment sometimes. And this consolification of the PC doesn't seem like it's going to end anytime soon. This console war is going to rage for a while because Tim Sweeney seems to think it's just a good business decision. He said, as a store competing on features alone, we believe that wouldn't be enough to gain traction. Steam has plenty of features, perhaps in some areas far too many, and we believe gamers come to a store for particular games rather than for the store features. And I do fully understand that because people are willing to give up features to get access to a game they want to play, so much that they'll even be willing to pirate it. But when you take a look at this roadmap that they have offered us, look at this, 3 months until we have cloud saves, 6 months until we have user reviews or wish lists. It's over 6 months, more than 6 months until you have a basic shopping cart. You currently have to buy games one at a time. You can't buy multiple games at once, and that's not going to be possible for another 6 months. But above all else, above all of the things you can say about the Epic Store, whether it's features or spyware or anything else, the most important thing is they're using their money to take away consumer choice. And that, by definition, is anti-consumer. Even if you don't think it's a big deal, and even if you think it's a minor inconvenience, you have to admit the world would be better if you could buy the same thing in 2 different stores instead of only one. And look, you know me, I will defend exclusives from time to time. I have no problem with exclusives unless they are bought and paid for. If Epic had taken their money, purchased Gearbox, funded Borderlands 3, and decided they wanted to be a PC exclusive, I would have understood that. Hell, I would have celebrated that. When Epic finally starts doing that, I will celebrate that when they start coming up with their own IPs or resurrecting old IPs that they've purchased. That I'm in favor for. But a game like Borderlands 3 that was almost certainly going to exist anyway because it's a no-brainer, that shouldn't be locked down to just one PC store. But now that's just one man's opinion. I could be wrong, and I know a lot of you will disagree with me on this, and I look forward to reading that down in the comments section below. While you're down there, drop a like on this video if you liked it, or dislike it if you disliked it. YouTube doesn't care either way. They just consider it an interaction. While you're down there, hit subscribe if you haven't already, and if you have hit subscribe, hit that notification bell so you can see more stories like this. Let me know what you think about the editing for this video. I've tried to throw in some jokes and some silly stuff and some movie clips. I hope you guys enjoy that kind of stuff, because I'm enjoying making it, so hope you guys enjoy watching it. Guys, as always, thanks for watching. I love you very much, and I'll speak with you again soon.